that's the worst part about it, is it makes sense, right? I saw that tweet, I looked at a few of the replies, and I saw some of the replies, and people were like memeing on him. And that's the first thing I said, is like fucking manic depressive.
Now I'm thinking like, I don't know if it's a good thing to show my real emotions, because maybe people want to do it more, but I want people to want to do it less. I'm just trying to reason with you guys.
Reckful's story isn't an easy one to tell, as it was hard not to love the guy after watching a single video or a stream. It is the story of a man who was beloved by thousands, but still lonely, who lived his own version of the Truman Show, sharing his life to countless people online without holding back anything. Welcome to this celebration of Reckful's life, detailing the grand and awful events that led to him tragically taking his own life at the young age of 31. This is the story of Byron Reckful Bernstein, the bravest man on Twitch. Our story begins in Tel Aviv, Israel, on the 8th of May 1989, when Byron was born into a loving family of 5. He had 2 older brothers, Gary and Guy, who he loved dearly, and from whom he would inherit his life for computers and gaming. After their family moved to Los Angeles when Byron was only 2 years old, he would often get picked on by other kids at school because he barely spoke any English. He was still a happy kid, however, because he knew that he could watch his brothers play video games when he came home.
Specific days. I remember before that happened, I used to get so excited to see my brothers when I came home from school, and I'd be like, "Is Guy home? Is Gary home?" I'd be excited to play games with them. Fuck, I don't know. I just wanted to play. I wanted to be as good as my brothers to play games with them. Something, I think.
Yeah.
Young Byron would spend most of his days playing video games like Super Mario and Secrets of Mana. But then, when he was only 6 years old, tragedy struck and his brother Guy killed himself. You can imagine how much of an impact that can leave on a 6-year-old kid, which he would later describe in interviews with Dr. K on Twitch.
Yeah, because my other brother Gary, he drove me to an arcade because something bad had happened, I guess, but he was crying while I was playing arcade games. I didn't know what was wrong. And then we came back home, but the hospital car was still there. I don't know, everyone was crying. I don't remember too many specifics. I mean, when I came home from school, my mom would always be crying, or not there. She'd be in her room. Then I'd play games.
Okay.
And yeah, my other brother Gary, he never left his room anymore, and he'd be playing guitar. I'd hear him playing guitar.
With his new life circumstances, he had to learn how to escape reality when he was very young, and he would succeed in doing so when he found the game Asheron School when he was only 10. Asheron School was an old-school MMORPG, which a store clerk convinced Byron and his brother Gary to play, and Reckful was instantly hooked. Because he was extremely intelligent, and because of his God-given talent for gaming, Reckful, even as a kid, quickly became the best player in the game, which he would use for the only thing boys care about: pictures of girls.
But you guys found the picture of Destiny's Cry! That's actually her! Who found it? Wait, Chad actually found it! I didn't ever... This is her. She doesn't look that hot. But trust me, when I got this picture when I was fucking 12, and it was a 16-year-old girl, I was like, God damn, yo. God, she's really not that good looking. But, yo, I wanted to be in there so bad.
Outside of gaming, things were changing as well. While Byron was a nerdy kid in elementary school, he would finally hit his stride in high school, where he'd take on an edgy persona for which high school girls would lose their minds for. He'd bring his camera and guitar everywhere, blasting Elliott Smith in his car, and he would start feeling good for the first time in his life. It was also during this time where he'd meet his high school sweetheart, who he'd treasure and care for till the end. That girl was Jenna, and if you ever watched a Reckful stream, you know how much everyone loved her, for a good reason.
I'm gonna turn
You guys
it
stop
off.
playing RPGs
I'm
back.
turning it off. I'm gonna throw it off the balcony. I'm gonna
Look.
fucking throw it off.
We really owning and you just want us to stop. I'm getting so many points. I get the most points of anybody in the whole BG.
I can't believe this
Look
is
at my
life.
rating. Check my rating.
Is this really my life?
I get so many points.
However, when everything seemed perfect, outside forces would influence Byron's life again. When in November of 2004, a little game you may have heard of before came out. World of Warcraft. While the game took the world by storm, Reckful, who was 15 at that point, absolutely hated the leveling and could never force himself to actually get into it. He decided to stick to his roots and continue playing Asher on Squall, but as more and more people left the game to go play WoW, he would get increasingly unhappy.
The MMO I was playing since I was 10 years old was starting to die, and it was the only thing I cared about was this game. So when I was 10 years old, I was playing every day when I come home from school, I'd play this game, Asheron's Call. And then when I was 16, every time I'd log in, no one was around. And I only would play this game, and there's the only thing I was good at, but I realized no one was gonna play anymore. And as it was hitting me that no one was gonna play this game anymore, I got really depressed, because it was like it was kind of like the career feeling you have as an adult. It was like my drive in life, my motivation was to be good at this game.
This was when Byron unfortunately tried taking his own life when he was only 16 years old. Luckily, he wasn't successful in his attempt, but it was obvious that he was suffering greatly. He would drop out of high school due to depression, lacking any goal or motivation in life. But as things tend to work out, his very close friend would give him his max level character in WoW, and Byron would find himself in the character of a rogue named Reckful. And you could say that on this day, a legend was born. Reckful instantly found that he really enjoyed Arena, and he would soon start absolutely dominating the game. With his skills and talent from Asheron's Call, as well as his inherent competitivity, he would actually hit rank 1 in the first season he ever played. This was a huge achievement, and he was hailed as a wonder kid all over the world. Blizzard would even have to change the game so the rating goes above 3000, just because Byron's rank was so high. He would also start playing professionally with Complexity Gaming, where he would further prove his worth and talent to the world.
What a kick on healing surge! There's a grip, is that a crowded grip? Oh, he did it! Wow, no grip peel from Reckful. Alex trying his best to peel, but the team of Complexity really coming out strong here on Dizzy. And Dizzy going down to 15k, absolutely nothing left. Calling, please kill him. Goes into Ghost Wolf, into a stun, out of it. There's that late trinket, but still goes down in the middle of the ring.
While he finally had a purpose, and while he was gaining fame all across the world of Warcraft, he was making almost no money off it. His contract with Complexity was awful, and they had all rights to his wildly popular videos such as Reckful Free, which would gain 1 million views in the first week it was out. That was when Byron, in an effort to share his love for gaming with more people, started his first stream in June of 2012, when he was only 23 years old. Hordes of people tuned in to see him, and while everyone was expecting him to be a mysterious, elitist rogue, we were met with a lovable goofball who we came to love dearly in the years to come. He was the pinnacle of authenticity, always saying what he thought and not being afraid to look like a fool on stream if he thought something would be funny. He would share personal stories most streamers would dread mention while playing WoW at a level never seen before, and his stream would grow incredibly fast. He was the biggest streamer on Twitch by far, and he would innovate showing donations on stream, which every streamer today has Byron to thank for.
Oh my, I just got a donation from your guy. I'm high. I haven't clicked it yet. We don't know how much it's gonna be.
Whoa, man.
Dude, are you guys excited? $10,000.
Fuck you.
$10,000.
Fuck you.
For not
You're so
getting
happy.
mad at my yesterday troll. Blah, blah, blah. You are a good player. Slap soda, please.
He truly was at the top of the world, loving life and bringing many of his friends to his streams like Telvedor, Toes, Mitch Jones and Barry74, making for some incredibly funny and wholesome moments.
What's up, yo? It's Mitch Jones the slut. I've been fucking hella bitches on Twitch, but for what? What's it for? No one knows. I'm just trying to live my life. I'm 23 years old and I only live once, yo.
Brother Toe!
Brother Joe.
Why do you hang out?
Brother Joe, yo.
In a room. Wait for you, Brother Toe!
Joe.
Why are we here all alone?
We're alone in the bed right now. We're just trying to get some sleep and fuck your cow. Oh.
And on August of 2014, with WoW losing a bit of popularity, he would start playing a game which would probably cause him to lose his hair and grow a bald spot. That game was Hearthstone. While Hearthstone was in beta, Blizzard organized a huge tournament where they invited the biggest content creators, like Riparian, Artosis, Day9 and Trump, to compete in for a huge cash prize. And in a day that would live in infamy and produce countless memes, Reckful missed lethal in his first game versus Riparian. Driven by his mistake, in order to prove himself, Byron started playing Hearthstone religiously, and it was the perfect game to stream. He could watch videos, produce music in Club Penguin and have awesome interactions with his friends and other streamers while playing the game, and everyone in the stream was having the time of their lives. I'd say that this was the peak of Reckful's stream. While many turmoils were happening in his personal life, like breaking up with Jenna, getting into fights with soda popping, and getting banned from World of Warcraft, he finally seemed happy, and he would even innovate new things on Twitch, such as streaming Pokemon Go and social eating. He would gain rank 1 multiple times in Hearthstone, but the RNG nature of the game would in the end cost him his nerves, and he would uninstall it in July of 2016 after a brutal streak of losses.
Tea time with Byron. What the fuck? These people are so lucky. What is this turn? Are you kidding me?
Hey Dad,
Wait, this-
it's my birthday and people
I don't understand how these
for
people
the
are so
first
lucky, it's
time in
insane.
ages, Can I get A? Feels good men in chat.
What else? What else are you gonna do this turn, dog?
The kids are almost home.
What the fuck is this turn? This guy just played like 10 cards this turn, man! What? I can't believe. What the fuck? I actually can't believe this game! What the fuck? You don't play, but that was insane! Dude, I'm not even.
I don't know what happened, dog, but
Dude, no what?
don't punch me, dog.
The kids are almost.
And this is where he would install League of Legends and slide down the spiral of depression that League often causes. While he was usually the best at any video game, he had an extremely hard time in League. Not really excelling at any role, he would sit in a dark room, torn by his demons, trying to catch up with players who've been playing the game for years, and he would become increasingly unhappy.
I really don't want to play. I just want to leave. I don't want to play, dude. I shouldn't have queued another one.
Fuck! Fucking god, dude.
Luckily, with the help of his friends, he would finally find a way out of the League wormhole and begin a habit that would for at least a short while make him a happy man again. He would start IRL streaming, interacting with his friends and random people he'd meet on the street. He'd even go traveling all across the world and finally enjoying the real world for a change. His adventures to Japan and Spain would make for some beautiful and hilarious moments, and we all thought that Byron would finally leave behind his depressing days.
Ask the ladies behind you if you can eat their ass.
Hello. They're British. Can you stop?
Oh, they understand?
They understand. Oh my god.
You guys are too loud. I have to leave.
Oh.
You're embarrassing me.
Wait, you're leaving? I'm not done drinking.
They speak English, Reckful. They're British.
I didn't know. Wait, don't leave. She's leaving.
He'd also start working on a video game made only by people from his stream, his long-awaited dream, Everland. The idea behind it was to provide kids who suffered like young Byron a place where they have a community and where they'd be able to meet new friends, but he'd unfortunately never finish it. Near the end of his life, Byron would start experimenting with psilocybin mushrooms after a trip to Amsterdam, and he finally felt that he had mental clarity. This would lead him to an attempt to understand himself better through therapy sessions with Dr. K, and the reason why I called him the bravest man on Twitch at the beginning of the video. He'd livestream talking about his innermost thoughts and fears in front of an audience of millions, making for some incredibly powerful moments, such as when he read from his father's book.
What is the meaning of all this hassle and tussle? I'm dead, and these people continue their daily occupations, and I have to watch them and their utterly stupid ambitions and activities to get rich, to be powerful, to do this and that. What for? As life has already ended. And why is it that I'm dead and they're alive? And why is it they have sons to continue their existence after they're gone? And where's mine?
Everybody who suffered from mental health issues learned from him in those days, and we were all hopeful that we'll soon see a reincarnated Byron, a healthy Byron. He dug too deep though, and on July the 2nd, 2020, the world learned the horrible news that Byron took his own life at the age of 31. After learning about his last words to the world on Twitter, many would go to pay their respects to the long-suffering man who many of us felt was our friend. Thousands of people would go to churches in World of Warcraft and kneel to his memory, and Blizzard would even add a rogue trainer bearing his name to the game, but nothing could bring him back. We all lost something huge that day. So in the name of your fans, I thank you for teaching us that it's okay to be ourselves, for providing shelter to everyone who felt like the odd one out, and for the countless laughs and hours of entertainment you provided. We'll never forget you, Byron. Rest in peace.